sure we have learned how to use the public Zoom. I didn't realize that this was only going to let you come in through your FCPS accounts. Okay, so a couple other things in the chat about problems that people might be having. I don't see anything. Administrators, if you could monitor the chat and just interrupt us. And I think that we will go ahead and get started. And it says live transcript is available. So I don't really know what that means, but let's see if we can figure it out. Let's see. I think what that means is when I'm talking, it's actually transcribing for me. And maybe if you pick Spanish, it would be transcribing in Spanish. So let us know in the chat if that's what's happening for you. Okay, so is it doing it in Spanish for folks too? Is the closed captions in Spanish?
No, I think it's just English.
Okay, well, we'll figure that one out too. So we'll pause and we'll make sure that Ms. Sanchez can translate. If you would like to have Spanish translation, Kim, could you ask folks to just give you a sign in the chat if they would like Spanish translation, so we know about how many folks in the room need that?
Sure. Solo preguntamos cuántas personas aquí necesitan la translación en español. Si pueden poner en el chat que usted necesita español, solo ponga que necesita español en el chat, solo para verificar cuántas personas lo van a necesitar.
Oh, I think I know what happened. We have it translated from Spanish to English, but not the other way around. And I think when I set this up, because when Kim talks in Spanish, I'm seeing it come up in English. So I don't know if anyone can go into the meeting profile, they can change that around, but probably we'll have to do that next time. All right. Yeah, I think we just set it up so it's translating the other way around. Okay, we're going to get started. This is what we're doing with our time today. And if Kim, could you remind families to open up the links in the chat so they can see the slides in English and Spanish?
Sure. So first I'll put the English one. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and put in the Spanish one. Ahorita voy a poner un enlace para que puedan ver la información en español. Un momentito. Ok. Aquí va a estar el enlace en español para que puedan ver toda la información en español.
Okay, I'm projecting what we're going to be doing today. And Ms. Sanchez, if you could just draw attention to the second slide and let our families in Spanish know this is our agenda for today.
Ok, si va a la segunda slide, va a ver todo lo que vamos a hablar sobre hoy día.
Ms. Shanisha Simpkins Church is going to talk a little bit about our open house that's coming up.
Good afternoon, everyone. We want you to save the date for our open house, which will be held on August the 19th from 3 to 5 p.m. This is the event that you you should come to and engage in to make sure that you and your student get an opportunity to meet your students' teachers, administrators, counselors. Also, this is the time that we'd like you to stop by to drop off any vaccination records, medication, and also if you need to update your emergency card and form, you can do that at that time as well. We will also have the start of the year packets and other school supply pickup during that date. So please make sure, again, you save the date of August 19th for our open house, and we look forward to seeing you.
Entonces queremos que salve el día. Vamos a tener un open house en persona de 3 a 5, agosto 19. En este día usted puede venir a conocer la escuela con su alumno, puede dejar medicamentos en la clínica, las vacunas, también va a venir a recoger el paquete de inicio del año y puede venir a recoger también los útiles si necesita útiles gratis. Todo esto puede hacerlo el open house de las 3 a 5, agosto 19.
The next topic we wanted you to be aware of is our school year calendar that is linked on the slides. It's on our website. And I wanted to point out to you that there are several dates that have an O for cultural observance. This is a new designation in Fairfax County, and the calendar includes cultural observances that are not holidays for everybody, but days that we recognize many students will not be at school because of an observance. And so the teachers will not be giving assessments on those days, and there won't be any work that is assigned that is new material. There will be opportunities for students to be able to make up assignments with no penalty who didn't attend school on those days. You can read much more about that on the public website. That's not a Herndon decision. However, it is something that we want our families to be aware of. And of course, our teachers will be making the adjustments they need to for the new cultural observances.
Entonces, una cosa nueva este año, el condado ha introducido días que son específicamente para religiosos. En estos días, si hay un niño que no va a atender escuela, no va a ser contra de él o ella. También en estos días no van a haber adicionales trabajos o trabajos nuevos de escolares. Esto es una decisión que tomó el condado de Fairfax County y nosotros no tenemos mucho que ver, pero sí queremos ayudarle a esas personas que sí participan en esos días religiosos. Entonces, si quiere más información, puede visitar el enlace que está ahí en la pantalla para verificar qué días son esos días apuntados.
I believe Ms. Klenna's computer froze and she's got to get the slide deck back up. So patience, thank you.
I'm sharing my screen at this time. Are you all able to see the slide deck?
Yes, you can go ahead and start leading
Okay.
if you're available.
Okay. Well, at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Furr to start talking more about the bell schedule.
So I believe on the next slide, this is our schedule for Herndon. We operate on an odd even day. So it is just a pure rotation. So we start with an odd day on the very first day of school, and then we just go every other day. School starts at 7:30. Buses, tend to arrive around 7:10. And our school day ends at 2:15. And as you see on the screen, we rotate through certain periods, whether it is that even day or that odd day. Students eat lunch during their 5th and 6th period. You notice that a lunch starts early at 10:30, but not so early when students arrive to school so early. We do offer breakfast in the morning as well for students. And so we're excited to welcome them back. This is different than last year because the school day ended at 2. Our regular bell schedule is really that 7:30 to 2:15.
Entonces aquí está el horario escolar de este año. Básicamente los 2 días par y sin par van a ser iguales. Van a empezar la escuela a las 7:25. Pueden entrar, recibir su desayuno y de ahí van a empezar sus clases a las 7:30. Cada estudiante va a tener 30 minutos para lunch. Durante ese tiempo ellos pueden comer y relajarse un poco. Y sí tenemos 2 tiempos para el final del día. El primer piso sale un poquito más temprano, que sale a las 2:12. Y de ahí dejamos salir a los segundos piso, que es a las 2:15. All right, school supplies. I can take that one for Justine as well. All right, for school supplies, if you log onto our website at herndon.fcps.edu, we do have a section under for school supplies. It is a much smaller list just because of a lot of our kids are going to be using laptops this year. So we're bringing those back and we'll give you a little bit more information about that in just a moment. But if the student is unable to get school supplies, we are going to be offering backpacks with supplies in them during the open house. If the student is unable to pick it up during the open house, that's okay. You can stop by the main office after that and pick them up at the main office as well. And I'll just do a quick translation in Spanish. Y para los útiles escolares, si su estudiante necesita útiles, puede venir a recogerlos durante el open house. Van a ser completamente gratis. Si quieren encontrar la lista de útiles, puede entrar en nuestro website de Herndon Middle School y también está la lista allí. Pero si no puede obtener estos útiles, los puede recoger durante el open house o en la oficina principal cuando empiece la escuela. We can go to the next slide.
So continuing on with Fairfax County's FCPS On, providing all students a laptop. Again, all of our middle school students will be provided a laptop by Fairfax County Public Schools. Students will receive their laptop once they have come to school, and we're actually going to distribute them during their PE classes on August 25th or 26th. That happens to be the 3rd and 4th day of school. So the first 2 days, students will come, with their supplies, and then on that 25th and 26th, students will receive their laptop through PE class. If a family is in need of a MiFi device, which is portable Wi-Fi, please contact our main office and we would be happy to arrange a time for you to be able to pick up a MiFi device.
Entonces, para las computadoras portátil, los vamos a dar a cada estudiante en la escuela y van a ser el agosto 25-26 durante sus clases de física. Entonces, no van a tener que venir más temprano, lo van a dar aquí en la escuela. Si su estudiante necesita acceso a internet, que tenemos MiFi, que es un internet portátil, solo puede contactar la escuela en la oficina y nosotros podemos arreglar un día para que pueda venir a recoger su MiFi o su estudiante lo puede recoger aquí en la escuela cuando él está aquí o ella está aquí.
Okay, course enrollment. A couple of points on this, and I apologize that I had to shut down my computer and come back in again. So I know the admin picked up all the topics that we wanted to cover. Please put your questions in the chat as we go. And also at the end, we'll have time for some Q&A and you can we'll turn on your mics. But right now I want to talk about the fact that we did send out a list, what we call a reverse verification. And that's just a list of courses that your student is currently enrolled in. No assignment to teacher or period yet. And you were given the opportunity to send a question if you had one to Ms. Simpkins Church, our director. Those went out, I don't remember the dates, probably right about Thursday, maybe Tuesday of last week. Ms. Simpkins Church, was that about the date that they went out?
Wednesday afternoon of last week.
Yeah, it was called a course list. That's really just an opportunity for you to let us know if there's any mistakes in your schedule, things that are not right. We wanted to just point out a couple of things that are some of the things that are coming up as questions. We know that some of you have questions about support classes that are on the schedule. For example, maybe a strategies for success class or an academic language or a reading class. Those support classes are there because when we were designing the schedule for students and talking to the former teachers, we added support classes based on what we felt would be a good way to help specific students have a really good year and gain some extra knowledge and skills in certain subject areas. So I'll turn that, before I go on, Kim, I'll turn that to you for translation. Your mic's off.
Sorry. La semana pasada hemos mandado un correo electrónico con la lista de las clases que su estudiante hasta ahorita ha obtenido. Queremos que usted entre a su correo electrónico, chequee que todo esté bien con su alumno y verifique que las clases que ellos escogieron están correctas. Si no está correcto, ahí mismo en ese correo puede mandar un correo electrónico para decir si una clase no está correcta, por favor me lo puede cambiar a otra clase. También unos estudiantes han recibido clases adicionales para ayudarle en otros sujetos, por ejemplo, en clases de leer o clases que tal vez necesiten más ayuda. Entonces va a haber eso también y es posible que esa clase va a ser en plazo de una clase como más divertida o un electivo. Y la razón es para ayudarle a su estudiante a mejorar en ese sujeto.
Thank you, Ms. Sanchez. So other questions that are coming up are about honors classes. So we're excited this year to have all of our honors students in advanced academic classes together. And one of the ways we'll support that is through our instructional model, which is called the workshop model of instruction, that really allows the teachers to have students engaging in different activities during the class period, and then they pull a small group to extend or to maybe provide additional instruction within that class. So just to repeat for Ms. Sanchez, the translation, our honors classes, we're excited that all of the honors classes will be advanced academics program. All of our honors students will be together in the different sections, and the teachers will use the workshop model to differentiate based on the different needs of students.
Ok, y otra pregunta que hemos tenido es sobre las clases de honores. Este año estamos, bueno, es algo exitoso que todos nuestros estudiantes van a tener honores, pero avanzado, es un programa avanzado. Entonces, todos nuestros honores va a ser ese programa y depende de su estudiante si necesita algo más avanzado, su maestra va a verificar y va a ayudarle en esas clases, pero ya no va a ser separado. Entonces, todas las clases de honores van a ser juntos.
So the question, what is the difference between AAP and honors? They're actually the same. Instead of typing in the chat, I'm just going to answer that question. So an honors class is an advanced academics class. So our students might have one honors advanced class, or they might have 4 advanced classes. What I'm saying is that this year, our students are, we're going to have sections that are honors that include students who might be typically in, say, a GT program in elementary school and may be eligible for Hughes. And we're including students who are in honors classes who would be coming to Herndon Middle School and not necessarily coming from an AAP program. So our honors classes are going to be joined together for all of the students who are in honors to benefit from that advanced academics curriculum in a more differentiated setting. So there might be students who are clustered together in that class with maybe 23 or 24 students who really need more of an extension, and they use the small group work time to extend for that group, whereas another small group might need a little bit more reteaching. So basically our instructional program is designed to differentiate, but also really just meet students' needs based on their interests. So our honors advanced academics program is going to be designed around small group targeted differentiation. You want to try that one for me, Kim?
Sure, I think I can get that. Entonces, la diferencia de AAP honores y honores es básicamente es lo mismo. La única diferencia tal vez es que antes eran clases separadas, pero ahora todo va a estar junto. Lo que van a hacer los maestros ahora es de que todas las clases de AAP y honores van a ser juntos, y los estudiantes que tal vez necesiten un poco más ayuda en algo van a hacer un grupo en la misma clase, y la maestra le va a ayudar con ese asigno. Y si hay otro grupo que necesita avanzar un poco en esa misma clase, va a estar en ese grupo y van a avanzar un poco, pero todos van a estar en la misma aula. Y eso va a ser mejor para que todos aprendan lo mismo, pero depende en el nivel que ellos están, la maestra le va a ayudar para avanzar más, o empujar los que avancen al otro nivel. Entonces es un poco difícil, pero básicamente es lo mismo.
Thank you, Ms. Sanchez. So there's a couple of questions in the chat that we can answer real fast, like let's see here. Well, I'm having a hard time going up, but yes, if your student was doing really well and in all honors advanced academic program, which is basically being in all honors, and they would continue with that in 8th grade. We also are encouraged that some of our students are selected for honors who had never been in honors before, because either a teacher saw that spark in them, or there's enough data about the student to say this student would really benefit from having at least one honors experience in middle school. So some families have asked, oh, my student's in an honors class. I didn't realize that was what they were going to be signing up for. And we want you to know that we know that for a middle school student, it can really be inspiring if they have an opportunity to really be challenged and stretch in a subject that they like, and a teacher or someone sees a spark in them in that subject. So there are some cases where even though the course selection sheet wasn't filled out for honors, a decision was made to give that student a chance at least in one honors section. Kim?
Entonces, otra cosa que va a haber, hay unos estudiantes que hemos puestos en una clase o dos clases de honores, y normalmente no están en estas clases, pero queremos que ellos avancen y queremos que ellos traten de mejorar en un sujeto que tal vez ellos les gusten. Por ejemplo, si a ellos les gustan matemáticas, pueden ponerlo en una clase de honores. Entonces, hay veces usted puede ver sus clases y va a ver que tiene una clase de honor y no sabía. Es por eso, porque hemos visto que su estudiante tiene el potencial para ser mejor en ese sujeto, y queremos que avance, y por eso es que los hemos puesto en una clase de honor.
And finally, the last thing I want to say about course enrollment is our algebra students will all be scheduled into honors algebra. So we have some algebra classes with 2 teachers for our students who might have an IEP that indicates that they have certain accommodations. So there might be 2 teachers in there to ensure that the right support is in place. There's some 7th graders who are in algebra because that's the course that they qualify for based on the county's testing parameters. And all of the students at Herndon will be in the honors algebra, giving them what I believe is a really strong opportunity to gain that rigor in the math class so that they are working with peers and the teachers to really go deeper into the math content in algebra because it's so foundational, and they come away very much ready for the challenge of the next level of math. Ms. Sanchez, could you go ahead and let our families know that in Spanish?
Y la última cosa que queríamos tocar sobre las clases de honores es este año todos los niños van a tomar matemáticas de álgebra de honores. Hay niños que van a estar del grado 7 y califican para esta clase avanzada. Queremos que los niños aprendan álgebra porque este nivel es bien importante y necesitamos que ellos entiendan este nivel de matemáticas porque le van a ayudar para el futuro en todas sus clases de matemáticas. Entonces, por eso decidimos poner todos los niños de honores en álgebra honores también.
Oh, that was a lot about course enrollment. Thank you for listening and being patient with that. And keep your questions coming in the chat. Ms. Sanchez?
Es bastante y queremos que sigan poniendo sus preguntas en el chat. Yo sé que es bastante información sobre eso, pero vamos a seguir.
Okay, we're up to Ms. Simpkins Church on slide number 9.
Hello again, everyone. So some additional information regarding student class schedules and required forms. Just a reminder, if you are not signed up for Parent View, please make sure to do so soon, and we'll definitely be also giving you more information regarding Parent View at Open House. On August the 19th, students' live schedules will become available in both Parent View and Student View. So it's important that you have been registered for that service. And that you know how to access it to be able to view your student schedules during that time live on the 19th. In addition to that, we will have a family mailing of schedules because we do understand that some families may still be trying to learn how to access Student and Parent View. So prior to August the 19th, starting on August the 12th, we'll begin putting together a mail out package to all families, which will include the student's class schedule.
Ms. Simpkins Church?
Yes.
Your voice is going in and out and we're having a hard time hearing you. So let me just repeat some of those dates that you said, and maybe you can clarify in the chat. The Parent View and the Student View are really important for you to sign up and get those installed in your computer. And the course, the actual student schedule will be open in Parent View and Student View on August 19th. In addition, we're going to send home a paper mail out with a copy of the schedule. And that really helps with any families that are not linking in on email and not downloading the app. But we really want everyone to get that app. And also it allows families to get a couple of those critical forms before school starts that they can get sent back. Kim?
Entonces, solo queríamos recordarles que si todavía no se ha asignado para Parent View, es bien importante porque allí mismo va a poder ver toda la información de su estudiante y también va a poder ver sus clases de su estudiante que van a empezar y va a estar disponible agosto 19. En agosto 12 vamos también a mandar por correo sus clases, una copia de las clases, la información del bus, la información de emergencia y más información que se va a necesitar para el comienzo del año. Pero sí es importante que tenga el parent view.
Thank you. Shanisha, do you want to try again and see if your connection's a little bit better?
Sure, I'll try again and you let me know if you're able to hear me. Can you all hear me now? Much better? Okay. So technology permissions will be sent out to all families via email in August. And it is important that when you receive that, that you do respond so that we can make sure that, as students receive their laptops coming forward and once school opens, that they have your permission to use a lot of the technology resources and apps that will be used within the classroom. So be on the lookout for that. And Ms. Klenna did mention a lot about courses and course selection. So I'll just talk a little bit about the advisories. Every student, just as with last year, will have a 4th period advisory class. And one of the unique things about this year is we will have a few advisories to provide additional support for students. So we're very excited about being able to provide additional math and English support, as well as executive functioning support and social connection support, and also honor support for students who might need additional support through advisory.
Este año también vamos a mandar por correo un enlace en donde puede dar permiso que su estudiante también tenga un laptop que se va a llamar Technology Permission. Y esto es para, básicamente usted está diciendo que está bien que su estudiante use una computadora de la escuela y también que puede usar las aplicaciones que vienen en la computadora. Entonces es bien importante que llene eso cuando le entre en su correo electrónico. Ya hemos hablado un poco sobre las clases de honores, entonces básicamente sobre queríamos decir de la clase de 4º periodo que se llama Advisory. Y Advisory es una clase en donde su estudiante va a participar en clases donde puede ayudarle socialmente, pero también si necesita ayuda en otras clases puede ir a visitar a otros maestros y recibir más ayuda en otras clases. Y esto también va a ser bueno para estudiantes que están en honores y ellos pueden agarrar más ayudas de honores. Y momento también vamos a usar eso para estudiantes que necesitan más ayuda en lectura y inglés. Y esta clase es para eso. Okay.
Thank you. And now we'll turn it over to Ms. Combe for transportation.
Hi, yes. So for this year, things look a little bit different for our students with buses. So as far as we know right now, as of tomorrow, the county will be sending out a survey, a transportation survey. You will need to fill in that survey if you would like your child to ride a bus in the fall. This is different from years past, so just be on the lookout for that. If the guidance on that changes, we will absolutely let you know. But as of right now, all families will receive a survey by either text or email or both by the county to opt your child into the transportation. So again, if you would like your child to have a bus in the fall, you need to fill out this survey. It should be very quick. And just so that they are aware that your child will need to be on the bus route. This should be done by August 4th. That's a really quick turnaround. We know that. If you need support, please let us know. But as of right now, keep an eye out for that tomorrow. Again, that's a change this year than it was before. In Parent View, you should be able to see the bus route assignment after about August 10th. And again, during our open house, we will have a table to support families wanting to help with accessing Parent View. You can go to the main FCPS website, and they also have information on how to do that. It's not always easy. So try to use some of the troubleshooting techniques they have there at the website. But again, we'll have a table to help that. Also, we have just been informed by the county and all parents have been let know, I think as of today, that students will need to be wearing a mask while not only while boarding and riding the school bus, but within the school building at this time, much like it was back in the spring.
Entonces, para transportación este año es un poco diferente. Mañana van a mandar una encuesta y en la encuesta le van a informar si usted quiere que su estudiante tome un autobús. Es importante que usted tome esta encuesta si usted quiere que su estudiante tenga autobús. Si no llena la encuesta, no le van a asignar un bus. Entonces es bien importante. Este correo electrónico le va a entrar mañana. Sabemos que es un poco corto, pero tienen que entregarlo para agosto 4 y para agosto 10 ya va a estar disponible el número de bus en Parent View. Y otra vez, si necesita ayuda con Parent View, le podemos ayudar durante el Open House y le podemos ayudar a entrar a esta aplicación. Y la última cosa es que acabamos de recibir hoy día que los niños van a necesitar ponerse mascarilla cuando estén en el bus y también en las escuelas. Pero vamos a hablar más sobre eso en un poquito.
So all rising seventh graders will be required to submit their forms regarding vaccinations prior to returning to school in the fall. So parents will be notified via email if your student is still missing a vaccine or a vaccination record here at our school. I know that many of our rising seventh grade students and families submitted their information to their elementary school. However, if there is a missing record, our SSA, Ms. Susanna Fry, will be getting in touch with you via email. If you have those records and you know that you're holding on to those and you're ready to drop those off, you may drop those off at our main office in person, Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. And also, as I said earlier, August the 19th will be an additional opportunity during our open house to drop off those forms, but the sooner you can drop off those forms, the better. And the two major vaccination records we're looking for will be for the Tdap and also for the meningococcal vaccine.
Para todos estudiantes que está entrando este año nuevos del grado 7, sí hay 2 vacunas que vamos a necesitar antes que puedan entrar a la escuela. Y las 2 vacunas que vamos a necesitar es el Tdap y también el meningococcal. Y el meningococcal es nueva este año, entonces bastantes estudiantes no lo tienen todavía. Si usted ya tiene las vacunas y ya tiene el récord, puede venir a dejarlo aquí a la escuela lunes a viernes de 7 a 3 de la tarde, o también lo puede enviar por correo electrónico a la señora Susanna Fry. Pero es importante que venga a dejar esas 2 vacunas aquí a la escuela antes de empezar la escuela.
Good afternoon again, everyone. Once again, my name is John Bordenkecker, Dean of Students, and I want to first just acknowledge and thank everyone, students, staff, and you as parents for a very, very safe return to school back in March and helping your student to, implement our health and safety protocol. We had a very safe return to school in terms of the health and safety protocols. For the simple fact that some of our students are not yet eligible for the vaccination. Also, due to the fact that social distancing may not be possible at 100% of the time, FCPS and Herndon Middle School will be implementing universal masking for this upcoming school year. That means that all students, all staff members, all visitors in the building will be required to wear a mask at all times, despite whatever their vaccination status is. That does include inside the building. That also, as we mentioned in previous slides, that also includes buses as well. Where it doesn't include during PE, that is outside, any types of recess or breaks that are outside any other types of activities that are outside as well. But just, yes, if you did not see that information that just came out today to all stakeholders in the community, FCPS and Herndon Middle School is implementing universal masking for the upcoming school year.
Entonces, este año solo le queríamos decir gracias por empezar en marzo. Todos los estudiantes entraron con sus máscaras y hicimos muy bien con todo este año que pasó. Entonces, este año otra vez, FCPS ha dicho que vamos a tener que poner nuestras máscaras otra vez. Y la razón es porque como todos van a regresar, no podemos tener los 6 pies de distancia. Y entonces para prevenir, vamos a seguir usando la máscara. Entonces la única tiempo que no necesitan las máscaras es cuando los estudiantes están comiendo o tal vez están afuera durante PE o están haciendo otras actividades que están afuera. Pero sí, este año vamos a seguir usando las máscaras, incluyendo los maestros y los estudiantes.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tim Hoffman. As I said earlier, it's good to see so many of you here with us in this meeting. And I appreciate your patience and sticking with us throughout this presentation. As you can see here, we're on slide 13 or so. There's just a lot of information, and that's important that we get that information out to you, that you're hearing it, you're reading it. And so that's my transition to this slide, which is all about staying connected, staying on top of things. And this has been important. It's always been important, but with many changes and many updates and announcements, and I'm thinking especially of within the last year and a half, staying connected is more important than ever. Presented on this slide here are just a number of ways that you and your families and your students can stay on top of the information that the school is communicating out to the whole HMS community. Facebook and Twitter links are shown there, and that includes the HMS PTA Facebook link, and we'll have a slide here later on focusing on our wonderful HMS PTA group. Also, the Herndon Middle School website, which many of you have linked to this meeting from. Keep that bookmarked and check that regularly. And importantly, I think, is a way to get a lot of information, timely information, sent to your inbox and that you can check regularly, is to sign up for our weekly Herndon Middle School newsletters. They're in Spanish and English, so you can get up-to-date information and deadlines and all that stuff. So please keep note of this slide here and all of the links that are contained in it, because it will help you stay connected and stay up to date on all the latest news. Thanks. And I'm going to turn this over to Principal Klena now. After Ms. does the translation, sorry.
Sure. Y con todo lo que ha escuchado hoy día, es importante que esté al tanto de todo lo que está sucediendo. Entonces, en esta página vamos a hablar un poco sobre que esté conectado con nosotros. Nosotros tenemos unas páginas de Facebook, también el PTA y también página en Twitter. Y bastante información que nosotros ponemos ahí es información que estamos dando ahorita y ya hemos puesto en estas páginas. Y también urgimos que visiten nuestros sitios de Herndon Middle School, bastante de información de eventos y información sobre formas o lo que sea, siempre lo vamos a poner ahí también. Pero más importante de eso, también tenemos una letra que mandamos por correo electrónico a todos los padres que están asignados para el Herndon Middle School newsletter. Y lo que básicamente es cada semana vamos a mandar información de lo que está pasando en la escuela, los eventos, y también lo mandamos en español. Entonces, cuando se inscribe puede poner la letra de español y le va a llegar en español es su correo electrónico. electrónico. Entonces es importante que siempre esté conectados con nosotros y esté en estos modos.
Thank you, Ms. Sanchez. The last thing, and then we'll have time for questions out loud if people want to ask something they weren't able to ask in the mic, in the chat. But I wanted to thank our PTA because of the pandemic and us not having our opportunities to rent the building to, you know, the Chinese school or the church or the different groups that would rent our building. We didn't gather any funds in our account that we use to appreciate teachers. You know, I only have certain accounts that I can use to show teacher appreciation, and those are usually coming from building use fees. So because we couldn't rent our building for about a year and a half, that account was not very lucrative, and I really appreciate how the PTA raised funds from our parents, and we now can have a couple of lunches. I'm going to get every staff member a t-shirt that says Herndon Hawks or We Are Herndon, just like the students got in the spring. So it's really special when teachers feel like they're recognized even in small ways. So thank you to the PTA for making us, for helping us to do that.
Solo queríamos tomar un poquito de tiempo para decirle gracias a nuestro PTA, que es de los padres que nos ha ayudado este año con la pandemia. No teníamos bastante dinero en nuestras cuentas para darles regalos a nuestros maestros, pero con el PTA y con la ayuda de ustedes, nuestros padres, sí pudimos ayudarles y darles unas comiditas y también camisetas este año con la ayuda de ellos. Entonces solo queremos agradecerles al PTA por toda su ayuda este año.
The buses will drop off the same way they always do, out in the back parking lot. Of course, if you're new here, which half of you probably are, you'll get information on where the buses drop off. It's exit 6, entrance 6. So our last slide is from our PTA president. Is Brett here, or is somebody going to speak up for the PTA Spirit Wear fundraiser?
Hi, I can speak up. This is Lisa Langer.
Hi.
Hi there. So we have Spirit Wear, and there were details in emails, and here's the link. We have some great sweatshirts, pants, water bottles, and car magnets. So the car magnets are new this year, very exciting. So we hope that you are encouraged to buy things for your children, and then it will be delivered, I think, a few weeks afterwards. I have to check into the details. But if anybody is interested in finding out more, here's the website to go on, as well as, again, the links should be in the newsletter sent out.
Thank you so much. PE uniforms are not required, but there are like fundraisers where you can buy the PTA wear to wear for the PE class. The students must wear a certain kind of athletic shoes, but it's in the regs that we cannot require the uniform. We did give every student a shirt at the end of last year, and my intention is to ensure students who didn't get a shirt last year because they weren't with us yet, or because of virtual, they never got to pick up their Herndon shirt. We do intend to give everyone a t-shirt that could also be used as the PE shirt. So we're at the end of our time for questions, and of course, the meeting will be posted. The slides are already on the website. I apologize that you couldn't get to the Jumpstart. I already told Mr. Fuller to make sure that his site is linked to the main site. I think it used to be, but I did put the slides for the link for Jumpstart in there, and by tomorrow, I'm sure we'll have that link on our main page. I think that we're going to post the recording. And we're going to learn more about Zoom. I've noticed that the translation is not very helpful because it's not translating correctly. So I hope I can not include the translation, but only the recording, or else people will be really confused. We'll have more meetings to provide you with information. Our open house is in person, where families will be invited to come in and walk and just very friendly, meet the teacher, say hello, no presentation, wander the building, sign up for things. Back to school night will be in the middle, about the 14th of September. So Kim, if you want to just summarize the information about the open house and the back to school night, then I'll open it up for questions.
Sure. Entonces, lo último, ahorita vamos a dejar que ustedes hagan sus preguntas. Solo otra vez queremos decirle que tienen que venir para el open house si quieren venir a conocer la escuela y venir a conocer las maestras y también vamos a tener otro día en donde pueden venir a conocer la escuela, el Back to School Night, que es otro día en donde va a poder sentarse en clase como si fuera su estudiante y conocer la escuela y lo que ellos están aprendiendo. Y eso es el Back to School Night. Sophia, if you want to go ahead and ask questions.
Okay, so we're trying to answer in the chat. Is there anyone who wants to ask a question on the mic? Go ahead and trying to figure out how that works here. You can go ahead and turn on your mic if you have a question, or well, actually, if you could raise your hand, that would be much better. So there's a little tab that says reactions down in the right corner. If you click on that, there's a little place where you can raise your hand.
Abajo en donde dice reacciones, si usted puede hacerle clic allí y poner la manita para arriba, le podemos, usted puede hacer su pregunta.
So we can see if you're raising your hand.
Yeah, there are 3 questions so far. The first one that popped up was from, I don't want to mispronounce the name, Ms. Wilt. So if you can turn on your mic, let me see if I can do that for you here.
My question is, my child turns 12 in August and her well checkup is until the following month. So do I need to get her vaccinations before, or can they wait till we get to her well checkup?
Well, I can answer that. So yeah, so if you aren't able to get it before school start, that's okay. You can, as soon as possible, I guess. We won't turn the student away. So yeah, if you have your vaccine scheduled for a later date, we will still accept the student come in and just drop off those vaccines as soon as they're ready.
And Mr. Hoffman, you want to call on the next person?
Sure. Ms. Rich, I'm just going down the list from top to bottom.
Yes, hi, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've got a real concern about this bus issue because my daughter was the only one on her bus 2 days of the week, and then there were 2 boys in the 8th grade, so I went with her every morning. Now, how problematic is going to be about the bus route changes? Because it takes about 6 minutes to get to the bus stop.
I can
So
take
that
that.
sounds
Ms.
like
Keller.
I think that sounds like a question that you want to bring directly to the administration to talk through the issue. So I'm going to, I don't know if your child's going to be a rising 8th grader, since they were probably here last year, I would assume.
She's going into 8th grade, yes.
Okay.
And
And
she's one of the few that actually did 4 days a week.
okay, yeah, last year was so different, but let's go ahead and our 8th grade administrator will give you a call. That's Mr. Hoffman. And he will call you tomorrow to talk through the challenges and make sure we can reassure or make whatever adjustments are needed, Ms. Rich, okay?
I appreciate that because that is at this moment, I think there's only gonna be one other child there because
Yeah,
the other boys that were there for 2 days a week, they were 8th graders, so they're not gonna be there anymore.
yeah, let's go
So-
ahead and have Mr. Hoffman talk to you tomorrow, but it's kind of a individual situation. So Mr. Hoffman, let's go on to our next person, and Ms. Rich, we will make sure you get a call tomorrow.
Yep,
Okay.
I'll reach out to you tomorrow. In fact, I'll send you an email today to see if we can find a good time to talk on the phone tomorrow. Thank you. I'm gonna, next on the list is Ms. Tuma, I believe, but now you put your hand down.
Somebody just answered the question for me, so thank you.
Oh, thank you. Ms. Wilson, do you have a question?
Hello, I do. Can you hear me?
Yes,
I'm
we.
driving, I'm sorry.
Yep.
I just have a quick question. Are you guys adapting? I know Fairfax County as a whole, we're supposed to adapt Schoology. So will that be something that is going to happen with the middle school as well?
Yes, absolutely. We have to. That's why we're using Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that was just
Have
my
you-
quick question.
Have you used it in another building or with another?
Yeah, I'm a Fairfax County. I work over at Aldrin, and we had to do all our training. So I was gonna get my son kind of caught up with some of my training.
Yeah.
So he
Yeah,
would know, but I
that's
was gonna,
good.
yeah.
Oh, hi, Ms. Wilson. I think we've met. Yes. So,
We have, yeah.
yeah, excellent. Yeah, we're going to be using Schoology. We're learning right along with you, but it'll be
Yeah.
district wide.
Okay.
Thank you for asking
Thank you
that.
so much. All
Yeah,
right.
you're welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson. Next is Ms. Umana.
Hi, yes. I'm concerned because we're gonna be missing open house. And I was wondering if there would be another opportunity for kids to sign up for the different things that they're able to sign up at open house. My daughter is interested in the yearbook specifically, and I don't know if I should just contact somebody directly or if she's gonna have the opportunity to do that during the school year.
Mr. Hoffman's going to be taking that one. That's an after-school program opportunity, so you're not in any trouble at all. So Mr. Hoffman, you want to give the details on that?
Sure. Yeah, our yearbook for next year, we're looking forward to that. We just, not too long after, like immediately after the end of the school year, we received the publications of last year's yearbook. So we're always looking forward to, putting the team together and working on that. For the upcoming school year, the yearbook group is going to be, it's going to be held after school as part of our after school program. So there's not going to be any situation in which, because you aren't able to attend in person the open house, that your student would be kept from participating in the yearbook. So I'm confident that, your student will be part of the yearbook team, and you can reach out to me directly and we can communicate about that if you have any further questions.
Thank you, Mr. Hoffman. It is time, but we don't mind staying around for some questions, but I don't want others to feel like we're covering any new content. We can stay for, I don't know if these meetings end automatically the way BBCU did. If it does, I apologize in advance, but we don't mind staying for 5 or 10 minutes here to answer questions, but there's no new, content. So if you had something else to do at 4 o'clock, please feel free to exit, and we appreciate you being here. We're going to do even better. Learning is on a continuum, and thanks for being our guinea pigs on Zoom, and we're learning. So we're going to even be better next time. So Mr. Hoffman, who's next on the queue?
Sure. Ms. Duenas Avalar, I see your hand raised. Do you have a question?
Hi, yeah, I had a question. Since I had virtual class all year for 7th grade, when we go back in, if we get lost and come late to class, would it count as absent?
I can take that. Well, first of all, it's just, really looking forward to welcoming you back into the building. And, there are going to be so many students who are probably feeling the same way that you are. They weren't here last year. They did their learning virtually last year, and it's going to be a whole new, world, walking into the building for the first time. But we're here to support you, your teachers, your administrators and counselors, and we're going to take time to take in those feelings that students might be having about being anxious, about being in this big building, not knowing, when you first walk in, what the routes are, what the hallways are. And we're going to be really careful and clear about like presenting that information to all of the students. So everyone knows, where their classes are and how to get from this room to that room. And, we're going to provide grace to the students as they learn these schedules and learn these routes and help you. I'll help you get to your classes and, get into the learning. I've been here for several years. And so, you'll be surprised how quickly you learn the building, and you've got your teachers and counselors and friends, your teachers, counselors and administrators, but you're also going to have your classmates to help you out. So I'm sure you'll, get comfortable here quickly and learn the routes. But no, we're not going to, on the first day of school, mark students absent if they're learning the routes to class. That's not what we're about here. We're here to support you.
Thank you, Mr. Hoffman. Any more hands raised?
Yeah, there's one more here, and that is from Ms. Blanchett.
Hi, I put a note in the chat, just wondering when will information about the Jumpstart transportation be released?
Jumpstart transportation. Mr. Fuller is the after-school specialist. I'll ask him tomorrow to send out a clarifying email because I noticed somebody put in the chat that there were different dates that went out. So I apologize if there's confusion on the Jumpstart. And I will ask him to send out a clarification tomorrow to registered families. Will that help?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we're already registered. I know the dates were the 5th and 6th and then the following week, right? I just needed to know the transportation information.
Yes, I will ask him. I think, yeah, there's 2 different groups. So you're either in one group or the other, and the 5th is right around the corner. So I'll make sure that he knows that there's that question out there and can help with it, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Hoffman, is Miley next?
Yes, that's right.
Miss Melgar?
Yes. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, I was just wondering, for students who are going to be attending school completely virtually, is it necessary for us to come into the open house, or is she able to get her forms online and all that information online, or do we have to actually come in?
I think that would be something that you talk about with that the virtual school has its own principal, even though the records are all still here. So I would suggest that we have our registrar give you a call tomorrow to talk about the way that you could do that, but I think it could probably be done online.
Okay, all right, well, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I think we have time for maybe one more question. Is that Ms. Brown?
Yep, that's going to be our final question, Ms. Brown. Can you go ahead and pose your question now?
I just had another Jumpstart question. So Jumpstart's not going to be at Herndon. Somebody I thought said they were taking a trip to Herndon though. So like, I feel like normally the purpose of Jumpstart so the kids can see the building and kind of walk around and get to know the kids too. But so what's the purpose of Jumpstart if it's not in the building?
Well, it's not in the building because they redid our HVAC this summer, and there's no air conditioning in the building. So facilities closed our building, not a Herndon Middle School decision, not something that we were asked or, to determine with facilities, something that was on the schedule. So virtual, I'm sorry, I'm distracted by the chat. Virtual is an entirely different process that was already rolled out with Fairfax County, and it's not, those applications are you want to work with the whole application process that goes outside of Herndon Middle School, and it's for students with a documented medical condition. The Jumpstart program will have a field trip over here, and it will be to see the building, and then the rest of it would have to be at Carson because our building is closed by the facilities department because there's a bunch of work and no air conditioning. It's not ideal. I much prefer to have Jumpstart here, but we will make sure that the students have that chance to walk around, and then they'll get to know other kids and they'll get to know some really wonderful staff members. So some of the neat components will still be there, the t-shirt and the team building and the connections to Mr. Fuller and all of that and the other teachers, but it's missing that component of being in our school. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so I think we're at time now. I'm busy to open up school. We still have a whole list of things to do. Jumpstart will be at Carson this summer, but there'll be a field trip to Herndon. So on that note, I do thank you so much for coming. And Kim, if you could just sign off for our families in Spanish. I apologize, all the questions were in English, so we answered in English. But Kim, thank you for your time.
Sure. Entonces, una vez más, gracias por todos que vinieron. Perdón que todas las preguntas fueron en inglés y los respondimos en inglés, pero básicamente si tiene otras preguntas siempre puede llamar aquí a la escuela. Pero gracias por todo y gracias por su tiempo.
All right. Good night, everybody. We appreciate you being here. We'll see you soon.